Coop here. I've had a few people asking me to show them how to make this micarta. So I've already got a video up on how to make micarta, but I've been making it out of this burlap here for a while, so I figured I'd show you guys how I make it out of the burlap. And basically, as you can see, here's your burlap. It's just folded over, and I just take my piece of micarta that I've already got. I just lay it down on there, get her about even, and cut out all my strips. Now that you guys see how I do that, next step I'll show you how I actually make it. See you in a little while. Alright guys, now as you can see, I've got 3 piles done out of all that I cut up, and these little pieces here are oddballs, but they're all pretty much the same size. You can still use this. You just, as you're laying your layers, you just put it in between your long layers and it'll blend right in just perfect. Now we'll get on with the paper part of it. Now if you don't want to put cardstock in the middle of yours or as liners on the back, that's fine. You can skip through this and pick right up into the actual making part of it here in just a little bit. Alright guys, I'll see you in a little while. Alright guys, Coop back with you. Now that I've got my paper cut and I've got my burlap cut, we're going to show you how to make this stuff. And what I usually do is, my wife wanted me to try some pink. So I'm going to put a pink liner on the back of this thing. It's going to be pretty thick. So I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do it about, that should be a nice thick layer. Probably going to do it about, let's do 8 pieces of cardstock thick. That's a pretty thick liner. It's a little too thick. Let's just back that off a couple. Okay, we'll do 6. And what you want to do is you want to have your stuff laid out before you ever start. So what I'm going to do is, this will be my liner. This will be what I start with. Then I'm going to lay my burlap down in the order that I want it to come out in the micarta, which I'm going to go 3 layers of burlap to 2 layers of micarta. I don't want a whole lot of pink in there. I just want enough to make her happy. And this isn't an exact science, guys. I mean, some people think that it takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of skill to make this. It doesn't. It's all trial and error. Just make a slab of it. You like it? Continue on. I just want just enough pink in this to highlight it a little bit. I don't want it to overwhelm it. Alright, next step will be to put it all together, guys. Alright guys, just to let you know a few of the things you'll need. You'll need some wax paper. Okay, I use 2 pieces, one for the top of the table and one I'm going to wrap it in. Some paper bowls. You can get these at the dollar store for $1 for a bunch of them. And I strongly urge everybody to get some of these little Dixie 3-ounce cups. They are ideal for this, because they're just, you can just throw them away because you can't reuse them. They're just a pain in the butt to try and reuse, and you don't want to mess up your wife's measuring cups. So I just get some of these. They're like a couple bucks for, 50 or 100 of them. Anyway, that's what I suggest you use. So, and I also use a press to make my micarta. You don't have to. You can just take 2 pieces of 2x4 and press it in, or you can make you a press. If you want to know how to make a press, I have a video that basically shows you the press that I use. Anyway guys, I'll get back to you here in a few minutes with making this stuff. Okay guys, I've got all my resin mixed up, got my paper turned upside down where I'm starting with the bottom going to the top. So let's just get started. I rub a little bit on the paper. I lay my first piece down. I hold it with this hand and I rub it down with resin. And I take another one, lay it right on top. Rub the top down with resin. Now I used 9 ounces of resin to make this batch, because when you use the material stuff, the cardstock, you can get away with using 4 ounces to make a slab of micarta that I make. Now when you start using materials, the material sucks up the resin really bad, so you have to use more resin or you'll run out. And you don't want to run out while making this stuff, because you have just a little bit of time to get what you're doing done, or this stuff is going to start setting up on you. Now as you're seeing, I'm doing each individual piece on the cardstock. That'll change on the burlap. When I get to the burlap, I'll take the first piece and soak the whole piece in the resin and lay it down. Then the second piece I'll just lay on top, and then the third piece I'll soak, because when you mash all this stuff together, it's going to squish that resin all throughout everything. Now as you guys can see, this doesn't require rocket science to make micarta. It's fairly simple. And the good thing about making it yourself, you can make unique handling materials that no one else can buy. So it can set your knives out in front of other people's. I don't know if you guys can notice or not, but as I'm doing this, I'm laying the camouflage part of the burlap up, and the light part is going down. And one thing I forgot to mention a while ago, when you're using this, it's good to, when you're making these, it's good to wear 2 pair of gloves, because when you go to roll this up in your wax paper, you'll roll it up with the pair of gloves that you're working with, and then once you get it rolled up, you'll pull the nasty gloves off to your clean gloves underneath to put it in the press and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna I don't know if you guys can see the bottom of that bowl, but that bowl is just about empty. Take that, take the rest of my juju. Do like that. Lay that on top. Rolled that first before I took off my bad pair of gloves. Try and make sure all the bubbles and everything are out really good. Now on this burlap micarta, I like to put the cardstock up and the burlap down. Here's my press. As you can see, it's just a simple press. I put a piece of wax paper in there to keep it from getting all over the place is bad, just lay it down in there. And I grab my top piece, I put it in there, line everything up, and then off comes the glove. I start out with the middle clamp, and then I go to the ends, and I usually just take my time. I go all the way around, tightening them a little bit on each side. Now the tighter you get these guys, the better off that seal will be on that micarta. Alright, there we go guys. Now all we got to do is just let it set up for about 6 hours, and she'll be good to go. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to put them below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. One thing I didn't cover, down here in Florida it gets so hot and nasty, I put 6 drops per ounce, and what I used a while ago was 9 ounces of resin and 6 drops of Hardner per ounce. Alright guys, you want to put your comments and questions down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I appreciate your support, appreciate you watching my channel. It means a lot to me. If you guys want to go over and check out my Facebook page and hit the like button, feel free. If you don't want to, you just waste a few minutes of your time. The link to that will be down below. And old Coop's pretty much gonna say, Coop out.